I own visionaryfragrances.com, which is a genuine fragrance sample website servicing the UK and the EU. These are the most popular fragrances that are sold on my website in the past year. Starting off with VIKTOR and ROLF SPICEBOMB Discovery Set. We have 4 fragrances from VIKTOR and ROLF. We have SPICEBOMB, the original, Extreme, Night Vision, EDP, and Infrared, either the EDT or the EDP. At the moment, we have only the EDP in stock, so that's the one that's in the offer. SPICEBOMB EDT, the original spicy tobacco fragrance, a very different style of designer fragrance that is quite rare in the market at the moment. Then, of course, you have SPICEBOMB Extreme, the winter essential. Takes the spicy tobacco of the original SPICEBOMB, adds a beautiful dark vanilla note, perfect for the winter. I love the kind of burning chili cinnamon vibe this gives off. It really smells like heat. It's a hot, spicy fragrance, great for the upcoming winter, and this is a fantastic fragrance. Next on the list from Louis Vuitton, we have OMBRE NOMADE. It's one of the best rose oud fragrances that I've tried, but this is a very smooth beast mode fragrance, and if you like that kind of Middle Eastern style fragrance DNA of oud and rose with leather with a touch of sweetness, this is a must try. Really excellent projection and longevity, and really is a must try. Also from Louis Vuitton, another great seller is Imagination. This for me is my favorite Louis Vuitton fragrance and my favorite fresh summer fragrance of all time. It is really fantastic. Fresh citruses with tea. It's vibrant, it's fresh, it's juicy, it's realistic, it's zesty. It is a perfect summer fragrance with really good lasting power. Most of my fresh fragrances either don't last or they smell really cheap and synthetic. This one is neither of those things, lasts a long time and smells very, very natural and realistic. Another new release, Lao Elixir, has been a really good seller for me in samples, which is what you kind of expect really. A brand new fragrance release that has been hyped up in the fragrance community. People want to try it before buying a full bottle, but this one continues to be a really good seller since its release about 6 months ago. This takes the original Lao DNA and really makes it a bit sweeter, a bit darker, and a bit more modern as well. You have this kind of honey and tobacco note in the base notes. Tobacco is not a really strong tobacco note that you might recognize from other fragrances with tobacco in, but it's there. It's like a masculine note with honey, with the old school Lao DNA. This is really enjoyable. Every time I spray this, every time I wear this, I really am reminded how good it is, and I personally love it. It's hyped up, but I think it's worth the hype. Stronger With You Intensely has been a really good seller for me since I even started the business about 3 years ago. The best in the Stronger With You line, either that or absolutely. Depends on what kind of fragrance DNA you like. This is the strongest in the Stronger With You line in terms of the projection. This is a room-filling fragrance, toffee, cinnamon, lavender, with the classic Stronger With You DNA, which is youthful, fun, easy to wear. But this one has excellent lasting power, great for the autumn, winter, but absolutely might be a better fragrance because it's a bit more mature and has a lovely boozy rum note. Most wanted line, EDP and Parfum. Both of these are excellent sellers, and to be honest, it's between these and SPICEBOMB, which are ultimately the best sellers. I mean, we're selling these every day, multiple times a day. AZZARO, the most wanted, the original, I would say is more for winter. Quite a simple fragrance really. It's very sweet and woody, amberwoods with toffee. It's strong, it's long lasting, it's wintry, it's warming. The famous Stronger With You DNA that's been really popular, that style is in here. You can smell it, but this goes in its own direction, and this one is more woody, I would say, more ambery, more woody than Stronger With You. A great fragrance for the winter, and for more of the warmer weather, the Most Wanted Parfum is great for the warmer weather because it is less wintry. This is more uplifting and fresh, although it is a sweet fragrance because it has a strong vanilla note. It's this airy vanilla, so it really reminds me of maybe the transition from like winter to spring. You know, when it comes into March, April, still a bit chilly outside, but you get this sort of warmer days, especially when the sun comes out. That is when this is fantastic to wear. The Most Wanted Parfum. Creed Aventus, yes, still a massive seller for me. Every day we're selling Creed Aventus. People who are new into the fragrance game, they see that Creed Aventus is the most popular fragrance probably of all time, or one of the most popular fragrances of all time, the most popular niche fragrance certainly. They want to try it, they want to see what the hype is about, so we sell this one daily, Creed Aventus. And I think as a business like mine, it's great if you're getting into fragrances to try these. Do not go out and spend £280 on Aventus. If you can go to Harrods or Selfridges or somewhere and try it, by all means do it. John Lewis as well, you could go to John Lewis. But a lot of people don't live close to these places, and you can buy a sample for the same price it would cost you to go on a train somewhere, or how much it would cost you to drive your car in petrol. Another great seller, Killian Angel share, especially as we come into the colder months. I've really seen an upturn in how much we're selling this. Started probably about a month ago to really start picking up, but I know why, because it is a brilliant cold weather fragrance. This is probably the best cold weather winter fragrance that there is. When I do my winter fragrance list this year, this will be up there on my winter fragrances for the niche category, because it's fantastic. It's gourmand, it has a booziness to it, but also some really sweet edible pralines. Very gourmand, warming, comforting. It just makes you want to be sat by a fireplace with like a nice glass of whiskey, watching a movie with the family. Fantastic fragrance, and for sure a must-have for the winter. Last two designer fragrances, both from Dior actually. Dior Homme Intense, forever popular. It's a timeless fragrance, and I think it's just going to be really popular for me all the time. Is it the best in the Dior Homme line? Questionable. I think Dior Homme Parfum is fantastic, probably better quality, but this one's actually the easiest to wear. And I think that's when people sample this, they want a fragrance that they can wear more often. So Dior Homme Parfum is not a fragrance you'd wear as a signature, whereas this one could be if you work in an office or something and you dress smart every day. This is one of the best fragrances to wear as a signature scent. This is a men's iris fragrance, which are quite rare. There are not so many men's iris fragrances with a beautiful cacao note with pear. It's really formal, it's professional, has a bit of sweetness, so it has this it has a slight dark and mysterious quality to it, but overall it's a really professional and formal fragrance. Dior Homme Intense. And what probably the most popular, certainly recently, is SAUVAGE EDP. This one I've noticed massively last couple of months has been selling a lot. SAUVAGE EDP for me is the best Sauvage out of EDT, EDP and Parfum. It's the middle of those two, and it's the best value that you're going to get. If you get the 200ml bottle like this, you're going to get a lot of fragrance for your money. And I think in terms of popularity, most people wear the EDT, and this is different to the EDT. Of course, it's Sauvage, has the DNA there, but this is a bit sweeter, a bit more well-rounded, not as metallic and not as punchy as the EDT. That's not to say it doesn't perform well. It still performs really well, and it has this excellent added sweetness to it that the EDT doesn't have. It's still really vibrant, it's still really juicy and vibrant and fresh and compliment getting, but it has the extra sweetness and smoothness that I think the EDT doesn't have, and maybe that's why it's becoming really popular. But if you had to ask me which Sauvage to get, apart from the Elixir, which is completely different, I would say get the EDP. So these are the most popular fragrances that I've got on my website at the moment. Now let me know, out of these fragrances, which one do you think is best?